Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are the homies of the round table where the table ain't round, but at least we ain't square.
Facts.
I am your host, Trio Daciano, and in the building with me, I got the big homie, Adam.
What's poppin'?
Yeah. And y'all already know what it is, man. Here at the round table, we're going to talk about things like boss talk,
Homie talk,
funny talk,
and a whole lot of other BS to help you de-stress.
But you know, there's just one thing we got to do first.
Gotta knock it out.
Vibe check.
Vibe. That's how we get it right here.
Yes, sir. What up, homie?
What's poppin' this time? How was your week, fam? You go first.
Man, my week has been a roller coaster. My week has been all sorts of ups and downs.
Well, let's hear about it, man, because we ain't clicked up at all.
At all.
Not at all, bro.
Yeah,
Not one iota.
I ain't even seen an eyelash.
bro, dog, you done fell off the face of the earth.
Me? What? Moi? Fell off?
Yes.
Never that.
Yes.
Never that.
It's always that.
All right, it's sometimes that. But
hey, sometimes you just gotta ghost people,
Hey, man. Facts, though. Facts.
Yeah.
I had to go ghost so I could work on my own spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you did there. I like that.
You like that?
That was nice.
Yeah. I might have to put that on a t-shirt.
You might have to write a book.
Going ghost to work on my own spirit.
Hey, that's right, man.
A little long, but I could throw some Casper on there or something.
Yeah. Trio Daciano. I can see it right now. Manifested, man.
Yeah. Man. The week. So I'll start like this. My week as a whole ended very positively.
Okay.
Especially if I include last night. Like last night was like the cherry on top. Like, yo.
Oh shoot.
Thank
Okay.
you for transforming the entire week into a more positive thing.
All right.
So,
is this something that we can go into vague detail or detail? Can we talk about this?
Like, how should I put it? It's kind of. So it actually touches on one of the topics that I want to get into later. So
Okay.
I'll just put it like this. Vague as possible, right? Week started off rough. Right? Was getting my ass whooped at the boxing gym.
All right.
Towards the end of the week, I was whooping ass at the boxing gym.
Okay. Okay.
And then by the end of last night, I was like, yo, it's been a fire ass week.
So you just transformed, huh?
Yeah, I went through my metamorphosis this week, man.
You went from a what is it? You went from a metapod to a butterfree. You set your soul free.
I started this week as a chihuahua.
Ended up a pit bull. Saint Bernard in this month.
So, before we get into all the details and everything that was going on, how was your week, bro?
Man, my week's been good, bro. Work has been amazing. Found out I'm getting a pay increase. So that's right.
We getting money.
But yeah, no, for real, man. So getting a pay increase, that was wonderful news. That's always good news.
Yeah.
And received some great recognition from the general manager of our company.
Ooh.
And he actually, they sent me an email with details on what is required for an operations manager.
Okay, speak on it.
So
speak on it.
So, and this, I was offered a position a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was a new position that they created.
Mm-hmm.
Things weren't adding up for me. I wasn't able to connect the dots. It just didn't make sense for me at the time, so I decided to not do it.
Yeah.
But this time around, I'm actually really going to put some thought and consideration into it. But it's also hard to just decide to move on from where I'm at because I work with a lot of amazing people.
Yeah.
They've really taken care of me,
Mm-hmm.
and I make good money. So it's not like I'm struggling or anything.
Right.
You know.
So this isn't. If you decided to do it, it wouldn't be for more financial stability or anything like that. It'll be more dedicated to, a new challenge in life.
Yeah, like a new chapter.
Yeah, the next phase.
Yeah. So that was wonderful. And then I've been thinking about that, ever since Scott, that's my general manager, ever since he came to the site. And he actually had a personal talk with me. He didn't just like call me or anything like that. He actually came out because he wanted to extend the invitation, the opportunity to me in person.
Wow.
So that was mad cool. But outside of that, man, the weekend has been great. It's been hot though, bruh. Look here. That I personally am like a polar bear. All right. I thrive in the cold. And when I am walking down the street and I have to shake my leg to get, things unstuck from my thigh, it's a little too hot for me, fam.
When you got to do the man jig.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, you could just be walking down the street, minding your own business, but then that heat wave kick in, and then you, by default, you automatically do the stanky leg.
Over here doing the 2-step, ain't no music playing,
bro. Like just DJ Unc. Well, I'm walking it out. But nah, man. Even though it's been hot or whatever, man, the week's been fire for me.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Outside of you being on that Hurricane Chris and need to get wiped down, you know what I mean?
Bro, that's that Boosie and Webby. Wipe me down.
Oh, you right.
It's all good though. It's all good.
Okay, so I know on the way here, you were talking about how you went back to church again today.
Yeah.
You got a little gym for us again today? What's up?
I do have a gym, man. So the title, the headline, the header of the message was, I think it was called The Great Disconnect. Not disconnect, The Great Disconnect.
Okay.
And now obviously, playing on words there, but the overall message today was, staying connected to the church, staying connected to God, and staying connected to, his people. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll go ahead and I'll start with an analogy that he gave, which was awesome.
Okay.
All right. So he opened up with talking about how, in the wild, animals move in herds, right? Or flocks or whatever.
Yeah.
And he talked about, let's say there's a gazelle. And the gazelle is with the herd, but he breaks away because he sees greener grass. He thinks the grass is just, greener on the other side, So he goes alone. He's distracted. He's been pulled away from the herd, right? Well, little did he know, after he gave into his distraction, there was a cougar or like a lioness in wait. And so, we don't really have to do too much explaining as to what happened to that gazelle.
Yeah, bird stew, I got you.
Just that life was over.
A little flambe de flamingo. Yeah.
And so the whole analogy is that, like strength in numbers when you stay connected, like to God and to his people. The church, right? Because the church is not a building. I think a lot of people confuse that the church is a mass of people. It's
right.
The people. When you stay connected, there's strength there. There's like safe haven, and it's just much better for you there. Whereas if you get distracted and you separate yourself, if you disconnect, right, then the enemy. Some people use the term enemy, some people use the term the devil or Satan or whatever, negativity, all these things, right? If you separate, you're more likely to just, be torn apart by that. And, we are designed. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's wonderful to like try to disconnect and, have your own alone time, but we are designed to, to have like fellowship and be around people.
Yeah,
and
we're social creatures.
Yeah. So, I just thought that was a wonderful message, especially seeing as how we live in an age of social media right?
Yeah.
Where and I mean in our world, let's not veer away from the fact that we do live in a pretty disconnected world.
Oh yeah,
You know?
definitely. I 100% agree with that.
And so, I think it's just important to talk about staying connected when we
Yeah.
do live in a society that has become disconnected because they tap into social medias thinking that they're connecting when really not. They're detaching themselves from reality.
Right.
And so anyway, I don't want to go too off down the rabbit hole, but I just thought that was a wonderful message. And so many people, I think, need to hear that,
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a real interesting viewpoint because, so I finished the Four Agreements book.
Oh yeah, like we talked about in episode 2.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. So that should tell you just how long I put off finishing the book.
But you completed it.
But
You
I
finished.
did it, and so like I said last time, I have a tendency to, detach from people whenever I'm going through something on my own.
It happens.
But this time, when I decided to spend some time in isolation, I was like, I am going to really try to focus on myself. Or I'm going to really try to build me however way I can to be a more positive light. So that led me to finally picking that book back up, starting all over from chapter 1 to reread the book.
Needed a refresher.
Yeah. I wanted to finish in the whole book in a night.
Hey, there you go. That's impressive.
It's not even a very long book, so it really wasn't a big reason for me to keep putting it off, but whatever.
But it's a personal W.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is a W regardless.
For somebody that normally listens to Audible books instead of reading books,
Right. Boy, I know them eyes was straining.
So...
I know mine would.
Hell nah. See, here's the thing. I used to love reading. It's the whole reason why I started getting into writing and stuff, things of that nature. But man, the older I got, the more I'm on the move, the more I'm doing something, the more I'm focusing on something else, and reading just kind of went by the wayside. But you forget just how powerful it is to read something with your own voice in your head.
Man, I got something we could touch on regarding that, but go ahead.
So I'm reading the Four Agreements book, right? And I'm gonna say this right now. I believe literally everyone should read that book. Like everyone, whether you're spiritual, whether you're religious, whether you're atheist, whatever you believe, this is an amazing book. So when you go through the book, it breaks it down like this. There are 4 major agreements that you need to make with yourself. The first one is be impeccable with your word. Now, in the translation for the word peccable means sin. And then M means without. So to be impeccable with your words means to be without sin in your words.
Okay.
As in, if you're going to be speaking about something, speak clearly, speak with a purpose, and speak without trying to spew poison or sin onto someone else. Right?
Oh, yep. The tongue is a double-edged sword.
Exactly. Yep. So if somebody says something that's hurtful to you, do not turn back around and say something that's hurtful to them.
Right.
Because you're feeling hurt.
Right.
So that's 1, right? Try to be impeccable with your word. 2, make sure I get all these right.
Hey, go ahead. This is why we take notes.
Heck yeah. So make sure I get this right. I don't want to tell the people wrong. So 2 is don't take anything personally.
Oh, man. Yep.
In the way that they describe that, normally you hear don't take anything personally. You normally think about just negative things, right? If I sat here and say, bro, you look fat, that'd be messed up, right? Dog, why are you so rude,
Right.
The way that he describes it is anything that a person says to you positively or negatively is more of a reflection of them and what they believe than it is you.
Right.
Okay. So if I say that I don't like that shirt or whatever. That's just me reflecting.
Right. It's reflecting where you are
Right.
currently, right? Where
Same thing if I was like, yo, you look fire today. Again,
Right.
don't take it personally, like good or bad, because that's just a person reflecting what they believe.
Right. I mean, go ahead and do the courteous thing, like say thank you and
Yeah, of
everything
course.
or whatever.
Of course.
But
So the way to look at this is the reason why he says don't take anything personally is because the more you know yourself, the more that you can make agreements with if you believe them or not.
okay.
So if you're constantly telling yourself that I look disgusting today, I don't like how I feel, and then somebody off the street randomly is like, ugh, you wearing that? And you feed into that, right? You turn around and you're like, man, that's messed up, but you know what? I really don't like this outfit. I'm gonna go home and change. You now have agreed with them that you don't look good.
Right.
And
Whereas if you were to agree with yourself and like the confidence you have in wearing the outfit, you would do the exact opposite and keep it on.
exactly.
Okay.
See, the more you strengthen who you are as an individual, the more you believe in yourself, the harder it is for you to take anything personally because you know yourself better than anyone else.
Yep.
That's why it's first be impeccable with your word, which means also telling yourself positive things daily. Like
Positive affirmations. Yep.
you look amazing today.
Right.
You know, I feel brilliant. I could
No. Not I feel, I am.
True.
Powerful words,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Third one, don't make any assumptions.
Because to assume only makes an ass out of you and me.
Facts. And that's a hard one. That's I know for me personally, that's a really hard one.
I think for people in general, that's hard.
Yeah. So the way he kind of breaks that down is if you have questions, ask. Instead of sitting here asking, talking to yourself about it, making up all these scenarios that may or may never ever happen. Because all you're doing is poisoning yourself. You're no longer being impeccable with your word.
Right.
You're bringing yourself down because you're playing out all these different scenarios instead of just asking for the information that you need.
Right. So like if you're a young cat on a bomb squad and they put you on a job to go, cut a wire and stop the building from blowing up, if you're unsure, ask the OG what's the right wire. Because if you cut the wrong one, you just gonna blow this bitch up.
Hey man, yeah, hey, tell my bomb squad people out there, try not to make assumptions.
Try not to put the rookie on the job. You know what I'm saying?
Please know who you are and know your skill level.
Indeed.
And then the fourth one is something that you have to do every single day in order for any of this to work. The fourth agreement is always do your best. You have to make that agreement with yourself that you will always strive to complete all your agreements every day.
Yeah.
Some days you're going to fail. Some days people will tell you something and you lash out because it's a reflex.
Right.
It's something that you built up over years. It's an agreement that you made with yourself that if somebody strikes out at me, I have to strike back out at them.
Right. And this is it's basically like really helping you like rewire, right? Breaking these old habits.
Yes.
Joe Dispenza wrote a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And it's, about getting out of these old ways, these old negative, toxic ways so that you can, move forward and be a bigger, better you.
Yeah.
Right. And in order to do that, you have to have self-awareness. And I think that's what this book was talking about.
Yes. Like the way that he describes it as everyone is walking in a fog of, misunderstandings, insecurities, sins, sinful words, hurtful demeanor. And he calls that a matote as in a fog, right?
Okay.
Everyone is living in a fog. Everyone has built their own personal version of hell for themselves.
That's true.
Where every day you wake up and you agree that you want to suffer.
Right. And it's, like we were fighting these battles that we've essentially created for ourselves, or put ourselves in a position where we feel like we even have to fight a battle in the first place.
Right. Right. So, for example, if somebody says that, oh, I don't like you, and you're constantly always been thinking, this person doesn't really like me. This person, maybe this
How can I
person,
change? How can
Yeah.
I be let me be a people
people
pleaser.
pleaser, yeah.
Man, dude, so many people that I know, and this is including myself. For a long time, I was a people pleaser. And, I'm getting to the point now where it's just like, oh, you don't like me? Okay.
I ain't taking it personally.
Have a wonderful day.
Right.
Because kill them with kindness.
Exactly. It's like, you don't like me? That's cool. I like me.
Exactly. And because you didn't take it personal.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So there's a lot more to this book, man. But when I finally finished it, I looked back at the entirety of my week, and it shined a light on a lot of things that I've been doing wrong, that I have to fix, that I have to constantly be aware of. The way that I talk to myself is way worse than I would let anyone ever talk to me. Yeah.
And that is a crying shame. I do it too sometimes. And there's people out there that are currently going through a phase where they feel like they want to take their own life or something like that, And they're doing the most negative talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Like the absolute most. So, I definitely, for everybody that's watching, Trio has told me a ton about this book, and I agree with him. If you really want to try to change your life in the way that you move and the people that you have around you, because, there's an old saying, you are what you eat and the company you keep, right? Read this book, and I'm going to read this book myself. And then, later on in another episode or something, I'll kind of touch on what I was able to take from it or whatever.
You're going to have to get your own copy, though, because I'm probably going to reread the book. So.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll go to a discount bookstore. It'll be all right.
Hey, but on that note, though, if you have a book that you believe has changed your life, changed your perspective on things, helped you change, what do we call it? What was it?
Shifting your paradigm.
Shifting your paradigm. If you read something that helped you shift your paradigm.
If you have read something that has helped you let go of the old you so that you can move on to be the best version of yourself, when we post this video, hey man, put that in the comments.
Seriously, because I already had somebody tell me that The Alchemist is another book that I need to read, so I plan on getting that either tonight or tomorrow for sure.
That's something you could actually talk to my sister about. She has read The Alchemist a few times, and she loves that book. It's really good for personal development, stuff like that. What I wanted to touch on real quick before we move on into the next subject was you talked about people like underestimate reading with your inner voice, using your inner voice. Have you ever heard KRS-One? You know who KRS-One is, right? Have you ever heard him talk about, I think it's the fifth dimension? Like tapping into that. So to put this into, simple terms and not get, too long-winded about it, he took a bottle or a can of Rockstar energy drink. He said, look at the can. Look at the label. He said, you see it, right? They say, yeah. He said, say Rockstar. And so they all say it, Rockstar. And this is at a university. So this is not just some hood lessons 101. This is at a university, very prestigious setting, right? So they all comply, they say it. Then he says, close your eyes. And then he says, now envision what you just looked at. Rockstar.
Okay.
Right? Like, Trio, open your eyes and look at Smart Water. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Now close your eyes. Can you envision it? Can you see it?
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
Now, say Smart Water to yourself. You said it, right? You could also hear it.
Yeah.
Right? So what he talks about is how is it that we can see without our eyes? And how is it that we can hear without our ears and we can speak without moving our mouth?
Ooh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm locked in. Keep going.
So he says that we literally, with this voice, right? And with this inner this inner self, right? This being, right? We can literally see into the future. We can see into the past. You can literally see things that happened in your life 10 years ago. That's a wondrous thing, right?
Yeah.
And what he talks about, what he touches on is that voice that said Rockstar or Smart Water, right, is you. That is your soul that is saying these things, right? That is the real you, because like these bodies that we have, they're a host to our soul, right? So now you really have to open your mind in order to like, even want to sit down and listen to him talk about this.
Now, I mean, personally, I will though, because that relates back to the Four Agreements book, because he defines the voices in your head as the judge and the victim, and how, depending on how you think about yourself, these two always find a way to play a part in the background of your mind.
You know why I think that is? That's because I think that you are both of those. You are the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So you will sit here and you will judge yourself, you'll judge circumstances, you'll judge other people. And then based off of those things, those agreements that you've made with yourself about people, about yourself, about your circumstances, you will define yourself as a victim. You'll hear that other voice that might say, oh, I deserve this, or I can't be better than this, or I can't do this.
Right.
You start playing into victim. But the more that you allow that other voice, the other part of you, the real you, the conscious part of you,
right, your soul,
to take command of those voices, the more you can push those to the background, where you can lock them away and you don't have to deal with them anymore. I mean, it's really amazing just how powerful the mind is, Yeah,
and a lot of people have linked the soul to like, the mind, or like the mind's eye, right? The soul is the mind's eye, right? It's so crazy to think that, we have something that powerful inside of us.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I don't understand why we as people oftentimes, more than often, so many times we almost let this body of ours, unconsciously kind of control like our daily motions, right? Instead of like, the mind controlling the body, which my hands, my arms, my legs, everything, it's controlled by the mind, not vice versa.
Yeah, making it sound like Elon Musk in here, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey. But at least we're not going to, be like Elon Musk and name our kid like R2D2 or whatever he named his kid,
Exion or something.
Hey, I don't know, man. His kid sound like a Pokemon name or something. He trying to catch them all.
Bruh.
But anyway, I just thought that is so interesting, that, somebody like KRS-One, you just, because, you think of him as a rapper, you see him like, whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police, that's him, right? You know what I'm saying? And then to see like, the vulnerable, the studious version of him, the teacher, in him come out and to like be talking about something so mystifying as this, and that's just so crazy. I mean, we could talk about this the whole show, but I know we're not trying to do all that.
Nah, not specifically. Not specifically. But since we're focused on, positivity like we normally are. So I was scrolling through something on Facebook and somebody asked a question, and I really enjoyed this question because it made me think. When is a time in your life you have done something completely selfless that had nothing to do with you personally, that you don't even get anything back from?
In my later years, I'm 30, and in my we'll just say recent years, right? Because when I was younger, I think when we're all young, we're pretty selfish.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I will say in these later years and in more recent times, I've definitely been much more willing to do selfless things and not expect anything in return. Because I think, when you sow those seeds like that, things will come back around your way. When you are not expecting it, because I think when you are expecting it, you're living in lack or in need, as opposed to living in prosperity and just abundance. Yeah. So
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah,
and, I mean, part of the reason why I wanted to ask this question is because it made me, especially since I finished the book, it made me have a follow-up question to it.
Okay,
right?
well,
So first off, let's take a moment. Think of a moment that you've done like a legitimately like selfless thing. You did something specifically just for someone else that you're not expecting anything in return. You did it out the kindness of your own heart. Just knowing that you did it for them was enough gratification.
Actually, just recently, very recently, okay, on the way here, you and I came here together in the same car, and there was a guy on the side of the road, and spotted him a couple bucks, regardless of what that person was going through or what they're going to use it for or whatever. I just know that in some way, shape, or form, they're in need. And if I was, able to give to them, that I was going to do that. And I mean, without hesitation, I just did it.
Yeah.
And I don't expect anything back. I want that person to be okay.
Yeah. That is the purest definition of who you really are. Moments like that, without even realizing it, because like the whole purpose of living is building your own personal heaven here while you have the chance. The people that you grow with, the people that you surround yourself with, you want to make sure everybody's straight, but you want to try to bring that love that you have deep within yourself to everyone.
Right.
It's like a flame that's in your heart. You open your own chest, you grab a piece of it. You open their chest, you put a flame in their heart. And you're hoping that you can keep passing that on.
Right.
From trees to animals to the leaves or whatever.
Truly paying it forward, right?
Exactly. So when I saw that question and then I read the book, those two things really coincided for me. So it made me think like, okay, what's a moment where I've done something like purely just because I wanted someone else to be happy, right? So I had this one time where a friend of mine, both like literally all of her parents, anybody that can babysit was hemmed up on her birthday, right? And she was unfortunately stuck at home with her kids, couldn't go out, couldn't do anything. And there was nobody else to go out with, right? And I was working, so I couldn't do anything. So what I wound up doing was, because I knew her so well, I talked to one of her closest friends that she hadn't talked to in a while. I reached out to him.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I know we're not really close. I know you don't really know me like that, but I know that you've been real close friends with such and such for years. And, right now she's kind of going through it. Her birthday's coming up. She doesn't have any plans. I was just wondering if you might be available to link up with her and do something.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh my God! Like I've been wanting to reach out to her for so long. I'm so glad you mentioned it." And I was like, "Yeah, hey, if you guys plan anything, that's totally between y'all. But just don't let her know I said anything."
Right. Right.
Don't tell her I said anything because I want it to come from you.
Right. You facilitated it, but you just wanted to do something good for her.
And, wound up talking to her like later that weekend after her birthday, and I was like asking her how her birthday goes. She's like, such and such hit me up, out of the blue, right when I needed it. And that made me feel amazing. Like,
I'm sure that had to have been gratifying.
Yeah. So it's moments like that, maybe not so much to that scale, but it's moments like that where you give a piece of yourself away, but it magnifies,
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And it winds up coming back to you in the long run because you feel better. You feel lighter. You feel more full of love because you gave love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, with everything else that we were talking about, I just want people to try to think about that in their lives, a moment where they were doing something completely selfless just for somebody else, for somebody else's gratification.
And, to add to this, I watched a video that was by Will Smith, right? And he said, and I'm going to try to get this right. He was talking to his cameraman. He's got like a personal cameraman, to be expected from somebody who's in Hollywood, whatever, documenting his daily life or whatever. And he said, if you want to know one of the keys to life, create a good moment. And then create another one. And mindfully do this. And he said, create enough good moments, you might fuck around and have a good life. And as simple as that is, it is so true.
Yeah.
Focus on creating good moments in your life and then make it a repetitive thing that you do. And buddy, let me tell you, you will mess around and have a good life. I believe that.
And that is big facts at the round table.
Where it ain't round, but at least we not square. But hey, listen, man, you were talking about, paying it forward and like spreading love and all that. So I was watching some wildlife videos the other day. And, I was watching this animal. He's a breeder and a trainer. Right?
This animal is a breeder?
No, this gentleman is.
Gotcha.
Did I say this animal?
Yeah. I was picturing Bugs Bunny out here.
Nah, man. So I was watching a video and this gentleman that has this show. I think it's like a web series. But he's like an animal breeder and a trainer, and he specializes in snakes. Okay. Now, this man will let these snakes bite him, venomous or not. Right, in order to build up tolerance, he's got a medical staff, on site or whatever. And I was just thinking to myself, bruh, if you and me was in the wilderness, and like,
this is a mad hypothetical because it's not happening. But go ahead.
if you and I was in the wilderness, and a snake bit me in my ass, if it was like if a cobra bit me in my ass, bruh, would you pay it forward? Would you spread some love and suck that venom out of my ass, bruh?
Bruh, pause.
Would you do it to save my life?
Fam.
Come on, bro. We've known each other for so long now.
Ooh, man.
Would you suck my ass, bro? Would you do it to save my life, bro?
I mean,
I would never hold it against you. Would never speak of it.
First of all, I have some concerns. All right, I'm not going into this scenario blind. All right. First of all, why the hell is my black ass in the wilderness? When have I ever said, "Hey, you know what would be great?
No,
let's go camping."
No. You ain't ever said that. Okay. The reason why you in the wilderness is because your white friend, me, said, "Hey, let's go do this. It'll be fun." I said.
Okay, so all right, so
come on,
going with the scenario,
right?
Okay. So your white ass
gets bit by a snake. Yes.
Drug me to the wilderness.
No, you came along.
And a snake bit you on the ass. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to think about it, bro, because I feel like that's just karma.
Now, in regular circumstances, I probably had my pants up or something, have a wallet in the bag, so he might bite the wallet or whatever. But it's the wilderness, bro. Like I got to, I might have to go to the bathroom. I'll go find a nice bush, pop a squat, do my business, grab a few leaves off a tree, wipe, and then bam.
I just want y'all to realize this that bullshit he be coming up with during the week. Like real talk. He just be wilding. All right.
Come on, bro. You've been my best friend for 15 years. If a cobra, I'm talking about King Cobra, like I'm going to die in 3 minutes unless you suck my ass to save me. Look, if it's any consolation, if we were at the beach or something like that and you got stung by a jellyfish, I would gladly pee on you to stop the sting.
I just want you to know that is a misconception. Okay, that you just make things worse.
That is inception.
So I'm gonna tell you like this.
I feel like you gonna let me down and just let me die.
As a brother, as kin, okay?
All right.
I got you, all right? But I'm letting you know now, I shall never want for nothing, boy. And I am throwing it in your face every opportunity. Like, hey, bro, you want to go see this movie? I ain't feeling that movie. Oh, you ain't feeling that movie? Like how I wasn't feeling sucking the poison out your ass. You don't want to watch Cobra Kai?
Bro. Yeah, dog, that would bring up so many negative like mental flashes. Like, okay, look, I will cover 51% of costs on whatever activities we do as payment for sucking my ass to save my life.
I'm telling you now, bro. You can't argue with me for shit after
Dog,
that, bro.
This means that if you are trying to snag a female, I'm gonna have to let my girl know first so she could like tag along in the background. But I'm definitely gonna have to, take one for the team and go on a date with her fat friend.
Hop on the grenade.
Look, if you were willing to do that, I got you back, fam.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I shouldn't have to want for nothing after that, okay?
Look, man.
Like, honestly, the closest that you could ever get to paying me back after that is if I also got bit on the ass by a random ass snake. To which, at that point, I'm gonna look at you like,
Pucker up there, big boy.
What's up, then?
Well, at that moment, I'm gonna just be like, drop him. I gotta save your life, fam. Look, you did me one up. I did you one up. Now we even. We square, and we good.
Yeah, for real, bro. Because I ain't never talking about it. I'm not. It's never gonna be. I don't like. They could be like, we just want to write an article about how you saved your best friend's life after 15 years by sucking the poison out of his backside. Hey, yo, scratch all that. Don't even. Nah, that never happened. I don't care what the paper says.
Could you imagine?
He died that day. I don't.
Dog, I'm gonna have to change my birth certificate. I'm gonna have to claim a dead person's social security number.
Oh, I'm relocating. All right,
you gonna have to, bro.
I don't even want to see trees. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the wilderness entirely. I don't want to see no gummy worms.
Nothing that reminds you of the snake.
I ain't watching Batman no more because I don't want to see poison ivy.
Scarred for life, bro.
I'm done.
Oh my goodness. Well, bro, for that, I appreciate you. I love you, dog. You my brother. And I would do it too if you needed it, fam. Pause. But I would do it. I would do it.
So
let's hope I'm not allergic to the venom. Because if I'm allergic, it's like a double whammy. I mean, I don't know.
If you allergic and I'm sitting here sucking poison out your ass and you still die? And you still die?
Like you just did that for nothing?
I'm finding a sorceress.
Bringing me back to life.
And we throwing hands. Like,
you ain't taking them boxing classes for nothing.
Nah, bro.
Oh my God, bro. Hey. But speaking being allergic, fam, okay, how much do you know about Kodak Black?
Not enough.
Not enough. All right. So, Haitian dude out of Florida or Florida, you know how they say it down there.
Right.
right? Gold teeth, rapper.
Yeah.
Crazy hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But
I think he got them crazy hairs. What they call them? Wicks. I think they call them wicks.
I call them palm trees, but yeah, we good.
That's what they look like. My man got a whole beach on his head, bro. But listen,
like burnt Bahamas.
but listen, man, this dude done got pardoned by Trump, right? He recently got out. He was released not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he already going back for some sexual assault. My man must be allergic to freedom. My man gotta be allergic to freedom, my guy.
Or maybe he was out and it was like, ain't nobody willing to suck poison on my ass.
But listen, man. Listen, how you gonna get a presidential pardon and go back to say what?
Presidential.
How you gonna get a presidential pardon and go back to jail?
Right.
You literally received the highest form of a pardon of release from a corrections facility. And in his case, I think it might have been maximum security. I don't know. And this man, really, bro? Like, I just don't understand. Decisions.
Yeah, hey,
Decisions, bad decisions.
Some people just don't know how to make good decisions with their life. Some people just aren't ready for the outside world.
How is it that you can have millions of dollars?
And still be an idiot or what?
And yeah. Well, that just goes to show you. That just goes to show you that you don't got to be smart to be rich.
Facts.
In fact, I would venture to say that most of the smartest people in the world, they broke. Well, maybe not broke, but they not rich.
Oh, that's big facts. Though.
I mean,
that's big facts.
It just,
like, I mean, even on that same note, I don't know if you know this, but the majority of people that win the lottery go on to win the lottery multiple times. And most of them are broke. How you win the lottery multiple times
and you still broke?
Bruh.
I mean,
that's the truest definition of end game right there, bro. Because they ain't got one.
Think about this for 1 second, bro. If you go to a bank and you deposit a very, very large amount, which you would if you won the lottery, right? If you put that money in an interest-bearing account, and at that amount, you're probably going to get pretty good interest, right? Now, I'm ballparking it here, probably a shot in the dark, but let's say you get a 10% interest. You making $100,000 a year on that $1 million that you put in the bank.
You gotta do nothing.
You don't have to do anything.
You ain't gotta do a goddamn thing.
Why can't they just do that? But nah, they gotta have this money, blow it on Ferraris, cars, snorting coke off of strippers' booties. Whatever.
Buying up some Usher bucks.
Paying a snake charmer to come in, that snake charmer mess around and bite somebody in the ass. And now they suing. And then homeboy scarred for life because he had to suck the poison out the ass. It just don't make no sense to me, bro.
The world doesn't make any sense. But there was at least one moment, 2 moments recently, actually, that gave the world a little something.
All right.
One, on a deeper note, is the George Floyd case.
Oh, man. Thank God for the justice served. Thank God. Right? And, because I know so many people are able to just breathe now. And that's, I'm not trying to, that was no pun intended. Here, I'm being serious. So many people that were just holding on to their breath, watching this trial, thinking another dirty cop is going to get off.
Right.
Right. But when justice was served and so many people could feel that relief, me being one of them, man. Oh, thank God. Thank goodness.
The saddest part about that entire thing is the fact that we didn't know which way it was going to go. Even though we have all sat there and watched we were having a trial to prove that something happened that we all watched happen.
Blatant murder, broad daylight.
And we still didn't know how the case was going to go. That is one of the scariest parts.
It is.
About our society right now.
And that is what a lot of people who are not of color need to realize about the reality of people of color having. Mm-hmm. Right? It's plain as day that there is an issue that needs to be resolved.
Yeah.
There needs to be change. Right?
Yep.
That people police departments need to read the 4 agreements.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, anyway, I mean, it's just, it should be automatic human nature to want to preserve life. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that really don't care about taking one, especially if they feel that they're, backed by, a badge or whatever the case is.
Yeah. And another thing that's sad about the entirety of the circumstances is that Chauvin, however you say his name, he already had on his record of previously abusing the kneeling. I think he was in like another case with a teenager who also said that he couldn't breathe, and he was on that kid's neck for like 15 plus minutes or something like that. I don't know the exact details. I'm just saying that there was already on file that
this man is doing this.
Yeah, that he's an issue, but he gets to keep his job. You try that type of crap with anybody else. Nowadays you say the wrong thing to somebody and you could automatically be fired.
Right.
On men and women. Like if a guy says there was like, girl, you looking damn cute. And then a manager overhears, hey, bro, I know you've been here for 25 years, but you can't say that. I'm going to have to let you go.
Right. But that's because we live in a world that is like, it's almost paradoxical, right? The world that we live in is desensitized, but overly sensitive at the same time. Right. And that is so true.
Yeah.
That like a common, just harmless gesture like that can get you reprimanded or even fired. I mean,
but going on the other side,
right.
You can wind up killing a person.
Right. And mess around and keep your job.
Hey, it doesn't make any sense to me. But at least, like I said, on a positive note.
Yeah. In light of everything.
He still was convicted.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen, more, like heavier charges, but you know what? We're not gonna even, what is it? Cry over spilled milk.
Yeah. Like right now, the biggest thing now is just, we know he's convicted, but for how long? And that will prove if justice is really served.
Right. And I think so if my math is correct, those charges I think carry up to what should be like 70 years. Which if there is going to be an option for parole, then he'll have to at least serve 35 or something like that. I heard that or read it somewhere that you have to at least serve half the time. But anyway, regardless, I am so thrilled that he was convicted.
Well, if he won patrol, I wouldn't hold my breath. So, on another more positive note, before we wrap up today, a very positive note, actually.
All right.
So, I think it was in 2019, a man named Josh reached out across his social media platform to as many people named Josh as he could find.
And I think it was the people that had the same first and last name as him, right?
No, it was just anybody named Josh.
Oh, just anybody named Josh. Okay, got you.
And, in this message, he was like, I'm sure you're wondering why I gathered you all here. To which one of them was like, is it because all of our names are Josh? And then he replied again, it's like, meet at these coordinates on such and such date in 2021. And for years, we've all been wondering if it was really going to go down, right? Mm-hmm. Are they really going to meet up, have a battle of the Joshes, right? Well, it actually happened. And it turned out to be
That's so dope.
far more positive than anyone could have ever known. Not only were they raising money for a children's hospital the entire time.
That's wonderful.
They turned it into a huge kind of festival-style event.
Awesome.
And the winner was a 5-year-old named Josh.
Hey, man. Can we clap it up one time for the little boy? Clap it up for the little man. You know that had to be such a positive impact on his life.
Little Josh came out there and was like, there can only be one.
My man came out talking about this is Sparta. I mean, just beating everybody with a foam noodle, bro.
Facts. So,
but man, he's never gonna forget that for the rest of his life.
I thought that was such an amazing story though, because the first time that I came across that story was years ago, and when it was just like a little screenshot of the message, and I'm thinking it's gonna be like, how they did the raid Area 51. And it turned out to be like 30 people out there.
Right.
Most of them were just doing a Naruto run in the background.
Yo.
I thought it was going to be kind of similar to that. Like, it was going to be like 5 people named Josh, and they're all going to look at each other and be like, you want to just go home?
But nah.
You want to grab a burger or something?
No, it was a legion.
For real.
A legion of Joshes came out.
Josh.
Right. I bet, dog, whatever state that they met in, I bet that state had never seen an event that had so many foam noodles.
Bruh.
I'm talking about it was oodles and noodles out there when they was fighting.
But, one of the things that struck me is I also think the power of what happened is also very terrifying.
Oh, because people can come together like that?
What if it was a congregation of Tyrones?
I think it goes without saying.
It's sponsored by Erykah Badu.
That there might have only been one left.
It's just all 9 millimeters and do-rags, bro.
Do-rag activity, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. Could you imagine?
But, on that note, though, I think it's time to wrap it up for today.
I think it is that time, bro. Hey, listen, y'all. Check us out on Instagram, HOTRT_podcast. Find us there. Go to YouTube, Homies of the Round Table. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good mess. Follow us and let us know how you liked it, man. We love y'all. Peace.